Welcome, welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Anywhere in the world that you have the opportunity to listen to us, welcome to our program On Target. We on RealFM 91.9, YouTube and Facebook. The number to call is 442-0175. And you're well aware we never have a subject matter, so you can introduce your own subject. And we want you to call and express yourself. You don't have to agree with us on that program. We encourage people to be respectful and to be truthful. As a people, all of us have to be more honest. We have to face the truth. We must not trick and deceive our people. We like to chastise the Europeans and the Americans and the imperialists and the colonialists and the white people for tricking us and deceiving us and colonizing us. But we must be honest to one another. Parents, you have to face the truth. If you notice your boys going to school with knives, you must stop them. You must let them know that if they go to school with a knife, it's a good chance they stab a child or the child take the knife and stab them. The child might die and they might end up in jail. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, I would like the Attorney General to do some investigation for me. I would name some of the I wanted to investigate. I wanted to investigate the MP person John about the $40,000 she spent in a hotel overseas. Okay, I want her to investigate. After the port closed, there were vehicles that was leaving the port with items. I wanted to investigate it for me. I wanted to investigate also why the ministers could not go in the commercial bank and get a loan. I wanted to investigate that. I wanted to also investigate, Mr. Pierre, all the trips that the Prime Minister went on. It is the purpose of the government or the purpose of a personal trip, because if he goes on a government trip, he's supposed to report to let us know what he achieved, what he bring back. And Mr. Pierre, when I consider this government, I consider the government operating like a corrupt government, a government of hate and lying, and lying and hate and corruption become the head cornerstone of the policies. And when she investigated, let her have a press conference and let her come and speak the truth to the people of Carrico and Peter of the finding of what is going on in the country. The people need to know. They need to know what is going on, because it's our hard-earned tax money are paid, and when ministers go on trip, it's supposed to come and report and let the people know. That's not the private affairs. If you go on a private trip, okay, you have to report. But when you become a minister, when you go on a government trip, it's not private business. You're supposed to come and report. Because we employ you to do our work, and to do our work for everyone, not to do our work for yourself and do our work for your friend. Right? And I will say that this government is going in history as a government that anti-poor people. And this government, they don't care about no the poor man. But when come close to the election, they want to come and bribe the poor man again and say we do that. But I want the people to remember, yes, you will forgive, but remember what people did to you. What people did to you. So have a blessing.
Yes, scholar. We have to be honest with one another. You have an upsurge in violence. Too much of young people are getting involved in crimes that they ought not to get involved in. And parents, and in my opinion, a parent is anybody over 18 years that could influence others. So you don't have to be a biological parent for me to consider you as a big influencer over the younger ones. So I was saying you have to let your child know, if you go into school with a knife, or if you go in dance with a knife, or a weapon, or a cutlass, there is a high possibility that you use it. And if you use it, you may kill or maim somebody. And you might end up in jail. That 5 or 10 minutes of indiscretion could cost you a lifetime in prison. Parents have to read the Riot Act. Tell your children the truth. If your daughter is underage and they feel they have to get sexually active, you have to let them know that there is a good chance they get pregnant. So the individual they're having sex with, make sure you want him for the father of your child. Instead of dressing your children like hookers, as if they're walking on 42nd Street, or Young Street, or in Tiger Bay, or Nelson Street. Let them know the truth. We have to face reality. When a child going to school, the parents must insist. You going to school, you're likely to spend 13 and a half years in school. You need to have a basic education. So on leaving school, you would not have much problems getting a job. We must determine what is a basic education. Your children must have the necessary passes that they can go to university. They can go to areas of higher learning. They can find a job. We can't continue to trick one another. You have to let the Prime Minister of Grenada know that he can raid the bank. The GDB Bank was established to assist agriculture farmers, people in the cottage industry, vendors and etc., who the commercial bank is not interested in. And the money in GDB Bank is from the government and other lending agencies that understand the objective of the bank. So it is wrong. It is unethical. It is not right for government ministers to raid the bank. What they do is tantamount to raiding the bank. We have to be honest. In the same way we need to be honest with children, we need to be honest with those we support. When you go back in history, a lot of the politicians that became infamous and did quite a lot of wrong, the writing was on the wall. But the supporters never challenged them or nudged them or advised them that this is the wrong trajectory, the wrong path. Your character is important. When you have a representative, they represent the constituency. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good afternoon to you and good afternoon to all your listeners. Is it possible that I can still make some reference?
Yes, go right ahead, man. Go ahead.
Okay. Some of the things that I would like to identify that the government has done over the 2 years, I'll start with the first time in history that any government in Grenada has allocated $120,000 a month to every elective minister, whether you're for the opposition or for the government. It's elected $10,000 every month to every elected minister to take care of their constituency. Apart from that, apart from electing that $120,000 a year, which equal to be $10,000 a month, also every minister, every elected minister, salary has raised from $1,200 a month to $5,000 a month. Whether you work for the government or you in opposition, that money was the salary was raised by $5,000 a month. So, in other words, you are a senator for the government or for the opposition. Once you are elected by the people, your salary that used to be $1,200 a month is now is $5,000.
Senators are not elected.
Not senator, but
parliamentary representative.
Parliamentary representative. Senators' salary is now $3,500 a month. Another thing that they did in getting in office for the past 2 years, the raise of the nurses' salary, $500 a month, which is $6,000 a year, $1,000 a month for doctors, $12,000 a year. Also, the JUMP program, where family members of the lower income, 1,500 laptop was distributed to them, and also the phone bill is like $20 a month at a cheaper rate. Also, there are the Imani workers.
Caller, you really want to go with it? Caller, you really want to go on the Imani?
Yes, I do.
Then go right ahead.
Okay. The salary used to be, no one is allowed to go home less than $1,200 a month. So, for example, if there was a worker that was earning $700 a month, the least that they would take home is $1,200. So far, when the government got there, they did say that it was going to regularize the workers. They started for the batch of the first 300, I think they do 298 already regularized. And they have different stages in which they would continue doing that. Also, we'll go to, let me go to the other. For example, the seed program. When the government took office, the seed program was $450. This was until December. They got into office in June. So that money was increased because of the hardship of the COVID, and it was not permanent. If it was permanent, they were supposed to go to Parliament and
caller. Say what the government do, because you're putting yourself in trouble, you know.
I'm putting myself in trouble.
Well, let me say this. Say the achievements the government make. Just say the achievements. Because you see this explanation you put in there, we're telling the Prime Minister he lied. The Prime Minister of Grenada told lies. He misled the people.
What did he lie about?
But that is the same thing I'm saying to you. Say what the achievement is. But you're giving the explanation, they give her the lie.
Okay, but listen to me. If they wanted to make it permanent, why didn't they pass it in Parliament? Why was it passed after that budget into 2024? November. That's when they passed it. It became permanent. It was not permanent before. If they wanted to be permanent, it was not going to not include it in the 2023.
Caller.
So as of December 2023.
Caller, I want you to make your statement without interruption, but I must correct you. When government make a budget, Government make a budget for a year. After the year, they make a next budget. So in a government budget, they could reduce these people pay, they could increase it. It's not somebody in the established staff. It's not somebody that represented by trade unions. These are people in the seed program, people you help. And remember, the Minister of Social Affairs reinforced that money would continue.
The minister can't do that. The prime minister is the one that would have to.
You enter in an area that you're weak in. So please continue. You don't know about that.
But let's finish that part of it.
Yes, just ignore that part and go ahead.
But why should I ignore it, Mr.
Because you're saying wrong things there.
Okay, well,
so
listen,
for argument's sake, leave it. You go come back to it the next time when you're certain about what you say.
Okay, but I'll say, but we need to not mislead the people and let them know the truth, and that's not what was happening. You guys have to be honest. You are saying to be honest, not being honest. Because as I said, if they wanted it to be permanent, they were going to make it permanent. Right now it's permanent. It was 300. They added a 150 just around the election time. By the time they got there was not enough. They had to go back in Parliament to make sure they paid up to December. And after that, they brought it up to $500. So they did add $200 to it. However, I'll leave that part of it alone.
Thank you, Caller.
But you guys need to let the people know the truth.
Caller, thank you. The Prime Minister of Grenada is a vulture. I don't take lightly to politicians tricking and deceiving the elderly, the physically challenged and disadvantaged children. The Prime Minister went on air and promised $650. He promised $650. He caught the World Bank. And when he come in power, he removed $150 from people. And after months of we complaining, he brought back $200 for some people. The Prime Minister of Grenada lies. He deceived people. But the worst group in a country to deceive is the elderly, the physically challenged and disadvantaged children. The Minister of Social Affairs reaffirmed that $150 would continue. And in less than a month, they remove it. Up to today, a number of people who was on the program, the money was removed. Remember what happened in 2008. The NDC used an elderly person. You don't do this thing. They promised $450. They use an elderly person. The man dead. He ain't get the money. They removed $10 from road workers. Caller, you want the truth? You have to ask the Prime Minister to stop lying. It is not necessary. He could simply speak the truth. He's lying with the intention of deceiving people. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon. I find you have too much patience with some of these people and them.
We have
these
to.
People,
you see,
you have to listen to them. What I find.
Let me tell you why.
Get her facts
straight. Let me tell you why.
Because most people want to call and to disturbing them,
but
which is stupid.
You have to understand.
Dick and Mitchell. Perhaps she's Dick and Mitchell's secretary, or perhaps she's a woman, so she want to cover up for him. But tell her to get your facts straight and come.
Right,
he promised 600 when campaigning. He blow him out. Oh, the people not getting enough. I'll give it. They need get $650. When these people are some wicked, Dick and Mitchell and the crew, and them is some wicked set of people, and some of them shame is the reason why they getting. And so, woman, Get
Okay.
your facts straight
All
and
right,
come
sister.
straight when you want to come on
Okay,
the program
thank you.
and talk your stupidness.
Thank you.
You can't find his stupidness.
Yeah, but don't get too woke up. Don't get too woke
Hey.
up. Thank you.
In 2008, I used to be worker contractor on the road. When 2008 they came in there, they cut the money. I hear this other fella does call and say,
Thank you,
first
thank you,
time they
thank
get
you. Don't
how
walk
much
up.
money,
Don't-
how much
you can-
money, how much money. When they came in there, they cut the money, them cut the money. First time, workers get $60. What is the plan? Watch.
Yes, local. Thank you,
Alright,
caller.
Mr.
Thank
Pierre,
you.
I will call
Thank
you
you,
back.
caller.
Because
No, I don't want you to get
Have a
worked up
blessed
at
day.
all. You see, yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. Listening to the caller before this one day. If you notice, the lady called sometime last week, and the lady called you back today to continue the same to continue the same conversation. But she come back this time. They write up a list and give her, and they put her in front. She was a parliamentarian. She was campaigning. What you talking about, and Mr. Pierre, you have to stop some things. You have to stop some people. You have to cut them off immediately. When you know what.
Caller, let me say something to
Yes.
you. You see, the people we have to cut off is the ministers. It's the ministers that are telling these lies. We're not
That's what I'm
going,
saying, but they're not coming.
caller. The people who telling these lies, who propagating these lies, who go in a lab and make these lies and selling them, is the prime minister and his team.
Yes,
And because they make these lies, people believe it. So if you don't listen to these people and explain it, they believe you're just cutting them off from the program because you don't want to hear them. So
I agree.
people need to explain to people what went on.
Yes, but what I'm saying, at the same time, when they come with that and you're going to talk to explain to them, and they want to argue and fight with you, no, you have
Caller,
to stop that. You are the host.
Caller, you have to understand what's going on in the communities, These things is on the ground. You hear me preaching and talking about restorative justice and political mischief and victimization. I am afraid when this thing bounces back, if we're going to entrench...
If you notice that she's struggling to give what they has done, she's struggling.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you see, we have to have a lot of explanation to people. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes,
and how are you?
Great, man.
You're good. Just a little clarification with something with the seeds program, right? Now, I could have remembered when Mrs. George explained something to the nation. There are two parts when they was raising with the 150 with the seeds program. She talked about the horizontal payment of the seeds and the vertical payments of the seeds. The vertical payments of the seed, that one was permanent. So you have to allocate budget for it every year. When you're making a budget, you have to make it every year. The horizontal payment of the seeds was the people what was not on the seeds program. So they look for the people who not on the seeds program, but you are unemployed, you're not working and stuff like that. They give you that 150. That was for a year, temporal. That's why they say the horizontal. And if you look at and you read Gregory Bowen's speech, the 2023 budget, he explained all that as well. So don't really blame the caller too much when she talk about it. It's the information of what she get from the source where she get it from. Yeah, but sometimes we have to listen. You know, we have to listen. And I would like Miss George to call back that station and give a explanation.
What needs to happen is that people need to avail themselves from the truth and explain it to people in the community. Because what the National Democratic Congress do, and they're good at that, I'd say to people, Congress has planned lies. And they propagate these lies to some of the supporters, and they believe it. So sometimes you have to listen to people and explain it to your children, to the people in the community. There are a lot of people who never call a program, but the outside there and those who understand it could explain it. The National Democratic Congress have a history of hostility against the elderly people. In 2008 to 2013, it was widespread. And they continue to do that, and this is not right.
I just always remember the old man.
Yeah, thank you.
And then again, you have to remember when they take out the $10 out of the poor people and what was the cutlass in on the road, they took up that $10 of them people money. So they are constant every time they come into government, they're taking up money out of poor people and attacking them, and they always think, oh, that is election gimmick. Election gimmick once is for the poor people. So to the caller, there is something they call the vertical payment, and there is something they call the horizontal payment. Let them explain that for you or to the public what that really means. All right, call it. All right, everybody, good evening.
Yes, you see, I speak about the truth. Some people don't understand the truth. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Your voice today, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller.
This lady speak a book today, and that is not the same lady who spoke yesterday. The one yesterday was a young lady, but back up 100%. Listen to me, Mr. Pierre. The NNP is the worst government who ever passed in the country for poor people. Mr. Pierre, the NNP pay the people working on the bush, the bushing people, $40 a day for 9.4 years. And you're telling me they like poor people? Them is the enemy of poor people. Mr. Pierre, the poor and vulnerable people in this country, they work in the school for $400 a month. Oh, God, Mr. Pierre. They work for 9.4 years. I want to congratulate Speaker Mitchell for seeing the light to include some more money for these people. Mr. Pierre, the North is them, Mr. Pierre, they're getting $500 more. Mr. Pierre, why you want more than that? Mr. Pierre, the poor vulnerable people, they're getting $50 more than what the NMP used to give them. And you say you like you're the enemy of the poor and vulnerable. Mr. Pierre, I live in this country for so long, and the poor and vulnerable never get better treatment today. As I said, the woman spoke about the seed program. The seed, as in what they give them $300. For $200, they bring it up to $450. The money was not budgeted for. It was not budgeted for. The NDC government coming in the middle of the year, they had a chapter budget in the middle of the year, and then they budget for the next until the end of December. And when the new budget called, the woman said that they'll continue, but they decided to disagree this money, and they bring it back to $300. So what the woman said is true, it is a fact. But right now, everybody over 65 years, and the poor and the disabled and anything, Mr. Pierre, they get it $500, Mr. Pierre. Take that and put your paper and smoke it. Mr. Pierre.
Thank you, caller. And because I walk around with my pipe, I'm going to continue to explain to you. The only... Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, in $40 a day, and in no money and no job at all, which one better? If you're getting $40 for the year, and you ain't getting nothing at all for the year, which one better? Mr. Pierre, NNP achievement, Dr. Kit Mitchell, had bring people in this light. They achieve. Remember, when NNP come into office, Grenada was a dark place. We build concrete roads till they say only concrete. We get water. We used to jog water miles in our head. We get pipe-borne water straight in our yard. We get electricity. We get telephone company. Right now, you have phone on top of tree. Gary had said that in the oldies. And now we seem to come to light. Every child have a phone in their pocket. Who caused that? Dr. Kit Mitchell. That is why Grenadians people love him like that. They're talking about convention and they're talking about this and that. NDC supporters never knew Dickie Mitchell until elections start. They see him on platform lying. He was a handpick. When we go to convention and pick our leaders. But they're talking about convention. They ever had a convention with Dickie Mitchell? They handpick him. The Grenadian people never knew who he was. That's why they make that mistake and select that government. And that was, here it was he used. Carnival is 2 days. Election is 1 day. And we have to live with whatever decision we make. That disrespect to the Grenadian people. It's giving us hard talk. And we don't understand. And we still believe Mr. Dickie Mitchell is the best of Mr. Dickie Mitchell. Where does this man come from? Who is this man? A lot of mercy. Mr. Pierre, this man are calling and talk about road work. He don't understand what's going on. Because I rather to get $40 a day than I ain't get nothing at all. Look at the small shops in developed areas. Is that the people who just go in the shop and buy ponga sugar? But they don't have the money now to buy ponga sugar. You understand? People suffering. Feed school program. The man talking about the feed program in the school. The school by mean telescope. They're suffering to buy ponga rice. The principal says she's not sourcing them no more because they don't get money to buy anything. So that thing that woman talking about, tell her get your facts straight. Mr. Pierre, we at the NNP, we stand strong behind whoever the convention produce. We stand strong behind them. Dr. Kit, have a nice day. We love you as Grenadian people. We don't know Mr. Dickie Mitchell. We know you. We select you. But who select Mr. Dickie Mitchell? The people who believe in the lies, the money, the permanent workers. And again, he paid the pension. But he has to still talk Dr. Mitchell for having that money there, for he to come and get it to pay the pension. And that's all they talk about. He paid the pension. And that's achievement. That's not achievement. Achievement is what Mr. Mitchell do for us. We used to have Masanto to jog water. Big Stone in road. The man come and give us nice road, nice water, electricity. Come on, Grenadian people. That is achievement. Not paying pension. The people who get the pension money, where them? You see the money circling? Nothing circling. These people put their money in the bank and they sit down on it. Mr. Pierre, have a nice evening.
Yes, thank you, Color. Yes, the number to call is 442-0175, and you can call and express yourself and say you beat. And as I said before, as a people, we have to be honest, we have to face the truth, and we have to be truthful to ourselves. Yes, caller, welcome.
What's up here? Good day.
Yes, caller.
Yeah, I listen for the call about it.
Yeah.
But the people deserve 650 or more. Remember the word or more.
Yeah.
They deserve money. They deserve 650. So maybe they call in here. Maybe you can see that person may call in from. But let them know the people deserve 650 according to World Bank or more. When he come in, he could get about 700, 800, 900,000 he can give the guy. But he could have taken from food. That's the embarrassment. But my point, I understand that the Prime Minister gone again. I don't know how true it is. But because remember the business, the man representing the senator who represent business. He said about when the budget, he described the budget as spending budget, but he didn't say what he was spending on. So now I could see that it mean on travel, spending on travel. I realize, but he never remember he described the budget as spending budget. So this thing, they can't be just continue doing people this kind of thing anymore. Every meet you go and like no, but we just say you just talking, just wasting our time now. We talking and let people don't even listen up to the people can listen. All they talking, they continue treading the same ground, they doing the same thing, and one man said the economy grew. I think the last caller yesterday said about the economy growing by almost 5%. But I can see the goods and services that cause the economy to grow. I don't see no commercial activities because that is the highest to measure the economic growth. And I don't see, I don't know if it is only on tourism, but for sure, because I don't grow. So some just using it. I don't know who eat them and stay in the room, in the back room, in the veranda, and coming up with that. I don't know, but on the ground, I don't see that. So take care, Mr. Pierre. Have a good day.
Yes, caller. The number to call is 4420175. And you could call and express yourself on any issue. But we have to pay attention to us as a people. Yes, caller, welcome. Go right ahead, caller. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that you allow the people to give their opinion because some of them hiding. So those who, I realize the gentleman have no facts, but still it's good to hear what he have to say. Speak his opinion. I agree that. I want to say to the caller before him that she made a mistake. She tried to give us a figure about regularizing people. But she forget that the government never give us a figure. The government says they will make everybody across the board. There will be no contract workers. Everybody will be permanent. That's what they forget. That the government say everybody will be permanent. All money will be permanent. All other public workers will be permanent. They give the nurses 500, the gentleman said, but they take it back in tax. So you see, they don't have the facts right. The nurses still crying out and say, like they don't get $500 because they tax them only $500. So it's not $500 they get. Even the doctor said so. So it's just a political gimmick, as the guy said. I agree with him. The lady trying, but I agree with him. Mr. Pierre, again, another thing I want to ask before I leave. I wonder how long would the Prime Minister and the Attorney General last again in friendship, because this is one of the worst Attorney General the country ever have. When you have nation business to discuss, the Attorney General going and call press conference to go at an individual, when there is plenty more press conference what should be held in this country. We had killing, we had all kind of things. We never hear about a press conference. But simple matter, with a phone bill, you're hearing they want to call press conference. Where are we going? She embarrassing Grenada. I want the activists to realize it. Under the new National Party, Dr. Mitchell will never leave his cabinet matters to discuss. And I think the Attorney General is the advisor to the cabinet. So that alone shows the nation we are going the wrong way. Thank you for now.
Yes, scholar. Scholar, it's an important point you make, but sometimes I always look at the policy of a government. And sometimes the small issues, I don't bother with it much. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, the Attorney General is right. You know why?
Caller. The Attorney General is not correct. And let me tell you why. This issue that you're speaking from falls under the Ministry of Communication. It falls under the Ministry of Communication. The Ministry of Communication could deal with it by sending it to the police or by trying to discipline the individual. When you have a government phone, bills don't come to you. So you might have a government phone because government may have a group plan. And government don't give you a limit, may not give you a limit on your phone. And you may use in the government phone and you don't know if you run out. There are several other people that left the government service directly and continue with the phone, including the previous Attorney General Cadgington Hood. I think he only run up either $9 or $19, not much. The Attorney General was making political mischief. That was not her area. And when she do that, she opened a can of worms. And she opened the door for political mischief. The National Democratic Congress introduced political vengeance in this country. It's a dangerous thing. Because the next government could go after your members the same way. The Attorney General was wrong. That was not our area. It don't make sense supporting Aisha wrong. You are spoiling good politician. And that is why I speak about speaking the truth. If your child have a knife, say, child, don't go on the road with a knife, you'll kill people. You'll go in jail, they go hang you. Tell your child that. Don't curse the neighbor. Tell your child that. If your daughter walking the road as if she looking for the bow, warn her. You're going to get pregnant. You underage. And if you have a minister of the Attorney General that is practicing political mischief and you are a supporter of the government, nudge her, warn her to stop. Discontinue the practice. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller gone? Yes, you have to tell the Attorney General. Yes, caller, welcome. You have to advise the Attorney General. Yes, caller, come in.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon. I was listening to that young lady talk. And to be honest with you, she's like she's underage and she have no understanding.
Just ignore the young lady and forget her, man.
All right.
And then you could punch the truth.
All right, yeah. Mr. Pierre, what I'm saying, we need unbiased journalists holding the government to account.
You don't have that. The journalists, you don't have that.
And this is what we need. You say you have to tie the truth on them, and the truth must stand in any country. GBN and MTV are not doing their job. They're allowing the government to run and hide and not explaining their action. This government is scared to stand up to scrutiny. Mr. Pierre, we have to say that my daughter is here from London, and they're having a general election right now. Every government and minister and the prime minister is held to account and asked to explain the action. What's wrong with us here? We are bright people. We are not dunce. We know what is going on. And if we know what is going on, we ask for truth. We're not asking for silver and gold. We ask for them to speak the truth. They're basing Kit Mitchell, and Kit Mitchell was speaking the truth. Now they're finding out. It's better to work for little and you're getting something every day to buy bread than you have to wait a whole year without getting nothing. Mr. Pierre, what they're doing is not right. The government must stand up and the journalists must ask them hard question. Hard question. Not the journalists, they have all the journalists in their pocket. They're paying the journalists, so they're afraid to question the Prime Minister. When was Kit Mitchell? They used to demonstrate, Mr. Pierre. Every little thing, they make a noise, they sing and they dance, they shout, they dislike it. Why can't the journalists do the same thing now? It is not right. So hold the government to the action. Let them stand up. Let them be transparent in what they're doing. Every minute you're running away. What you're running away? Afraid to stand up? Stand up and get proper journalists from abroad and question them for the wrongdoing, what they're doing to this country. They're bringing this country to its knees. We, the people, are going to suffer, Mr. Pierre. And we don't want to suffer. We was in good house, now we're in the bad house. Mr. Pierre, have a nice day. God bless you.
Yes, caller. Caller, the Malcolm X won us. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
The wash program, it was an NDC bathroom toilet. They changed it to the wash program.
10,000 toilet, caller. 10,000 toilet.
Yes. Yes,
And they
Mr.
changed the name to Wash
I was talking to one of the activists. He told me that the WASH program is pilot by Mr. Dicker Mitchell. This is why he controlled it. He built 35 toilets in St. David's, Belai. That's good information. 35 in Belai. You understand what's going on with these people and them? And they can't see that. This man just bribing Grenadians.
Color, you're not bribing Grenadians. You're bribing some people, not Grenadians.
Going to hold all you. Hold all your head up. Don't go for this bribery thing. We want a good leader and not a puppet show leader talking as that stupidness for us, hiding behind the journalists and them. We can't seem to talk. They don't explain nothing to us. All they want to have is a town hall meeting, which is another campaigning for them. But we ain't going to town hall meeting because town hall meeting is nothing considering us. Mr. Pierre,
Thank you.
Grenada is in a bad situation. When I look at what's going on outside there, it's not easy for people. Some people struggle, they can't buy breakfast in the morning to go to work. I see the activists who sell by the bookshop, but now they disappear. He's the best prime minister. You have a woman living in my place, she boasting.
That is the worst prime minister,
and she can't pay she rent.
Color, that is the worst prime minister pass. He's not the best.
Well,
He's
we
the
know.
worst.
We know.
Don't speak the language.
He's
the worst prime minister and the one that tells the most lies.
MPs to give them a gas, MPs to buy a pound of rice. But I rather have somebody where I could go to and I could get help. That I have nobody I could go to now to get a little help and a little job.
But they said that was handout, so.
Hands out? Yeah. So what are they doing now?
Well, I see this Color, you have to understand that the NDC
this with gang, I see this with gang on the bay. What they call them? You have about 10 of them walking.
Color, they don't get the net yet?
They have 4 men and a dumb truck, you know.
Color, they don't get the net
yet?
Have
4 men on the truck, you know.
All right, thank you.
Come on. I'll open eye, you want to watch now?
Yes, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Yes, see with the Prime Minister promise a net. You see, this is not the best Prime Minister. He's the worst. He tells the most lies. And he has deceived and tricked the people in the lower income group. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, we have a conference on the net in August. So by next year, we will get the net to back some of the series from the communal show. I hope they get through it. And there is a man who see things to do. And he promised him to do it. But the first government, they see all these things to do. And they don't care nothing about that. They don't care.
Yes, so the Prime Minister promised net. This Prime Minister has just lie and lie and lie and lie. The Prime Minister promised a net. The Prime Minister promised to get shock from Greenlet to pick mango and coconut and guava. This is perhaps the most laughable agriculture statement that was ever made in a small country. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yeah.
The world government, I think, we skip Michel.
Give me 3 reasons why you say that. Yes, you see, you cannot have a government that we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, caller, welcome.
Did you hear, I don't know if you heard, that the NMP executive had a meeting and the opposition leader, as it is said, decided to control all the executives, the delegates, and one of the executives said told him what he was doing is illegal, and he told them to take him to court. Did you hear that?
No, not a member of the NNP
party. You don't have to be a member.
Caller.
to hear that.
Caller.
I want to ask you if you heard that. Is that a yes or no? You didn't hear? You don't have to be a member.
Yes, I'm not a member of the NNP party, so most of them their meeting, unless their meeting is public, I don't know about it, and I never heard what you're saying there. And I think what you're doing is to try like a distraction, and I normally permit it because politicians must not be thin-skinned. I believe politicians must not be thin-skinned, and they must be prepared to hear criticism. Because when you have thin-skinned politicians, they're going to behave like Deacon. They're going to behave like the Attorney General. They're going to use language, unacceptable language, as calling the people classless, needy and greedy, beggy, as referring to people in the lower income group as commoners, lunatic and idiot, as calling decent, hard-working, patriotic Grenadian mad black woman, as sabotaging the Imani program and Project Fly. And they also intervene in active work programs that involve the debushing. So the rainy season is here, but the government decide not to provide the active work program which we call the debushing. And caller is the last caller for the day. So punch.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. I get cut off. I don't think you cut me off.
Punch caller is the last caller for the day.
Did you hear?
Caller, if you ask me question, I may take the rest of time.
Did you know that is in? Okay, let me tell you. In October of this year, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell will be going to Parliament to pass a law to ensure the same money you're speaking about, that when they leave government, they'll be getting a pension. Did you hear that? That is progress.
Caller Deacon lying. Deacon deceiving the people and he telling lies. And you're propagating that still. Deacon is lying and he deceiving people. He tricking the people and them. And you're not supposed to tolerate a leader that lies like that. I mean, come on, it's not fair. The people you are tricking are people in the lower income group. That is the people that are not represented by trade union. We have a pension law here based upon 1958 that went to court. The previous government did not challenge it in court. But Deacon say he go pay the pension. And Deacon paid some retroactive pay. He lie on the quantum and now he gets stuck. So he's talking about pension now, he gets stuck. And that is a trick. And come on. The trade union would not accept him. And they're going to challenge it in court again. And it's not right. Because the people you're tricking are some of the most vulnerable people in our country. And the time for NDC supporters, some of them kingpin, those heavyweight supporters, those political activists, to question Deacon about GDB Bank, and the people in the diaspora, those of you who go to gala with Deacon and this vulture group, ask them why is it they plundering the GDB Bank? Why several ministers of government, several top members of government are selling passports? Ask them who is going to do the check and balances. How could a minister of government, who is not the foreign minister, made 25 trips overseas in 24 months? 25 trips in 24 months. That is a means to give them podium They're plundering, they're ripping off the government coffers. The minister is not the foreign minister, but made 25 trips in 24 months. One hotel bill was in excess of 40,000. 100,000 was provided, we understand, to the gracious offer. The people in the diaspora, who is the third party directing our foreign affairs? This is the most corrupt government post-1967. They tell more lies than all the other leaders put together. And I'm willing to bet that they travel more than Henry Kissinger in 2 years. Henry Kissinger was one of the most traveled foreign ministers in America because of the war that was going on in the Middle East and Lebanon. One minister went away 25 times in 24 months. How we could have a government like that? It is the same thing I'm saying. We have to speak the truth. If you see a child pick up a knife, warn the child before the child commit murder and have to spend their life in prison and kill somebody else's child. And top NDC members like Brother Willie and Comrade Ray and Franca Bonadine and the others speak to Deacon about these things. I am calling on the members of the GDB board, the Grenada Development Bank, to resign. You're just a rubber stamp. You are being used. Your professionalism will be in serious question. Resign from the bank. And we're back with you again tomorrow between 12 and 1 for another opportunity to speak on any subject matter. Thank you.